Line up on the offensive line, everybody. We're ready for the Guard Your Savings podcast with Dolph Janis, founder, insurance professional, and income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group there in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can go to clearincomeforlife.com or guardyoursavings.com. Takes you to the same place. Set up an appointment, or you can dial 704-919-0149. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull, and we're getting the spring thaw underway here, Dolph. So I know that means more golf for you, or I hope it means more golf for you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Except for the pollen, I'm loving seeing the grass turn green, the leaves come on the trees, and the nights staying lighter longer.
Amen to that. Much daylight as possible. I'm a summer person all the way. Dolph, when the weather gets good, what's the prime golfing season? I know, like southern summer, it's too hot to be out for too long every day. So when is like golf prime for you?
I think April and May are the two of the best ones out there, and then going into September, October, and not staying away from the dog days of summer. I mean, still play out there, but it's warm out there, my friend.
So basically spring and fall. And yeah, I would agree, trying to be out. How long does I'm not actually, I'm just going to admit it right here. I'm transparent just as you are. I've never played. I've only gone putt-putt, or I've gone to the driving range. I've never connected the two. Does 18 holes take what, like 3 hours, 5 hours? I mean, typically.
In the perfect world, it's 3.5 hours. It's amazing. It's like golf is supposed to be a game of relaxation. It's like your retirement. You're supposed to be relaxed.
Yes.
And I belong to a club out here, and if these guys aren't finished in under 3 hours, they're upset. I'm like, you're out playing golf. You're enjoying yourself, and you're trying to rush yourself through something that you're playing for enjoyment. Why do you want to rush through things so much? It's like, if you want to get done and so quickly, why even bother playing? Because you're not enjoying it. You're supposed to be out there with your buddies. You're supposed to be talking and hitting shots, good shots, bad shots. But it's like, oh, man, it took 5 hours to play today. I'm like, what else were you going to do? Popped open a couple beers or some Gatorade, or with your buddies talking, playing that? I mean, I don't know. That's the one thing I've never understood, is you don't want it to take forever, but also at the same time, you don't want to have to run right through it.
Seems like a great way to unwind and relax there. Well, cheers to some great golfing coming up here in your golf prime months. So last episode, we talked about 4 benchmark or prime ages in retirement that you definitely need the help of someone like an insurance professional and an income strategist, Dolph Janis, to walk you through ages 59 and a half, 62, 65, and 73. But if you want to know what those benchmarks mean, if you missed the last show, go to the media tab at clearincomeforlife.com, or hit Apple, Spotify, some of the other podcatchers, and be sure and subscribe to the Guard Your Savings podcast there and get caught up on that. And today's show, we're going to spread out a little more than finance. This is something that could apply to a lot of real world situations, Dolph. And it's the idea of maybe putting too much trust in one person, or thinking that someone is just the oracle and being always right.
Yes, it's the show me, don't tell me kind of thing that, unfortunately, it's like we've heard all this stuff about the media. And I mean, this day and age right now, the one person in the media that you listen to is the weather person. I mean, they're only right 50% of the time.
Hey, I mean, I used to be a traffic reporter. You listen to the traffic person too, all right?
Yeah, they're pretty good up there, flying in the eye in the sky. But politics aside, I'm just going to use this as an example. And if I offend anybody, I'm a disclaimer right up to the front. Donald Trump, okay? I'm just going to talk about the people that love Donald Trump. I'm not talking about the other side. It's just people that love Donald Trump.
He's perfect.
He's perfect in every single way. No, you like what he's doing, but there's no way on this living earth that you agree with everything he's doing. It's just virtually impossible.
Yeah.
There's not a single person living on this world that's living, mind you. We're not talking about God. We're talking about living that is right about everything. It's like you have a room full of 10 people, and you tell someone a joke. By the time it gets back to you, the joke has been totally turned around and there's been extra things added to it and stuff. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's completely correct. I question myself now that I'm old enough to realize how many times I've screwed up listening to what someone says and then translating it back later. It goes through all of my filters, especially me being an optimist.
Yeah.
Someone could have just like broken up with me and I'd be like, oh, I think we're good. I think they just want to tone it back a bit,
It's so true. Life is something you're going to get one crack at. You're going to make mistakes, and that's, you have to learn from your mistakes. Learn from it yesterday, prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That will get going. It's big as like your retirement, and you're going forward in life. It's like me, I don't ever want to retire. I just want to get down to, when I'm turning 65, I want to get down to 3 days a week, but I want to work forever. I just love what I do so much. That's the way I want to do it. But there's so many advisors out there I've met in my lifetime in the last 21 years, and all these other people in different professions that think everything they say is 100% correct. I'll be the first person to admit if I'm wrong about something. And I try every day to learn something new every day, no matter what it's about, and admit to my wife, this is what I was wrong about. At night, we have like rose thorn every night with my wife, and I do this before we go to bed. We have a rose and a thorn. The rose is what did we learn today? And the thorn is what were we wrong about today?
Oh, wow.
And so by getting this off our chest every day, it makes us feel better going into tomorrow. So, I mean, it's something I challenge people to do a rose thorn. Even if you go on vacation, what was the roses of the vacation? What was the thorns of the vacation?
Wow, yeah.
Because nobody is correct about everything. But if you're 100% sure, it's like, I'm going to use a perfect example. Last week, I was on a golf course with this guy, David, which I could say his last name. And you get up to the tee box and 168-yard par 3, and he drains it, makes a hole one.
Whoa.
On the hole. I was there. I saw it live. It was incredible. He's 77 years old. He was just his reaction was woohoo, and that was it. That was his reaction. He was so excited. It was his third one. So we get back to the car room. He's buying drinks, and some people's like, "Oh God, did you hear about Dave Hole in One? He jumped in the lake and started diving, making it out like, no, he didn't. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he did this. I was there. What? Me and two other people. We were the ones who saw the Hole in One.
So if you only had 3 witnesses, how did the story get so out of whack? What?
That people just started adding to the story.
Wow.
And the thing was, it got around, and people a week later still telling, "Oh, can you believe that Dave jumped in the lake on 4 after he made a hole in one?" It's like, no, he didn't. And this is the whole thing of it, believing and less seeing. You see with your eyes live, more practically going to be true than what you hear with your ears.
Yeah.
You can learn with your ears, but you have to see with your eyes. And like watching the stock market, I mean, you can fall asleep like watching paint dry, or you can just forget about watching it and be in secure accounts. And that's what we work with, is secure accounts.
Sure.
And when people go to info@cisforlife.com and they say, "Dolph, I want to schedule a 20-minute question with you," I'm open to any kind of question you can ask for, whether it's life, educational, finances, or whatever, just to get to see if we're a fit, first of all. Second of all, if I know the answer, I'm going to present it to you. If I'm not 150% sure of it, I'm not going to tell you about it. And that's because I'm not going to be right all the time. I can tell you one thing, we work with guarantees and not promises. But also, I didn't jump in a lake after hitting a hole in one either.
That's fair enough. What are, just to kind of give a broad answer to people, when you talk about this clear income, what are the kind of things you deal with since you're not dealing with the volatile market so much?
Well, we work a lot with short-term accounts, with short-term CDs. We do with short-term annuities. We work with whole life. We work with income annuities. We have different prospects of, if it's safe and secure, that's what we're going to work with. I mean, we have 1 year, as far as you want to go. We have legacy planning. It's today, tomorrow, and never. Have money to live on today, have money to live on tomorrow, money you never plan on using. But 95% of people don't have that never money out there in case of an emergency, so it doesn't interrupt what your lifestyle is.
Yeah.
And a lot of advisors, they're out there called captive. I don't know if you know the difference between a captive advisor and an independent. Jeff and I here at the office, Jeff and I here are independent advisors. Our book is open to any. Like I said, I work with over 40 plus different companies. A captive agent, if you walk into a certain bank or whatever like that, they work with 1, maybe 2, and that's all they can present to you.
Sure.
And it's not a one size fits all. I mean, all the different annuities out there, all the different options out there that are available, all have certain features. But like if you're looking for income, this might be able to do it. This should be able to happen. What do you mean it should be able to happen? And I love when advisors, well, you should be able to retire at this age. You should turn that $500,000 into $1 million in 10 years if things work out right. What are the red flags during that little statement? The should and if are 2 words you got to be careful of when you hear in life. And that's about the whole thing, is that not everybody is right 100% of the time in living in this world. Because if you hear someone say if, or if you hear someone say should, I think about that Keenan commercial with Merrill Lynch. Well, it should be okay. It's like, oh yeah, it should be. And then he goes, it should be okay jumping out of this airplane without a parachute. I should be okay. Or I should be okay if I go in and fight Mike Tyson. I mean, these are things that are, no. I mean, you want your guaranteed side and you want your independent side. And I think back to this show, Seinfeld. You know, it's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, you do? Yes.
You mentioned to me you never saw the show. It's called The Jimmy, where Jimmy talks in the third person. And Elaine thinks that she's talking about this guy across the way in the gym, and Jimmy's like, no, Jimmy has the hots for Elaine. Jimmy wants to go out with Elaine. Jimmy likes Elaine. And she's like, Elaine loves Jimmy too. But Elaine thought Jimmy was somebody else. And Jimmy always talked in the third person. It's like, Jimmy's going to go get some candy. Jimmy likes candy. Jimmy is done and Jimmy was never wrong about anything. He's like, you've always had those conversations with somebody, the world is flat or the world is round, and they're going to argue until they're blue in the teeth because they're talking in the third person like Jimmy. Jimmy knows what he's talking about. And if you think you're talking to a Jimmy, be careful, because Jimmy only likes what Jimmy likes.
It reminds me of punditry, right? And we'll relate it just to finance. We're not going to go back to politics just yet, again, or anyway. But the idea, if you see somebody on CNBC or whatever it is, a place where you have that, Fox Business, the market should do this. If it does this, then this will happen. If they sell this, this will happen. It's like, listen for those ifs and shoulds and how people couch their predictions. The feeling on Wall Street is, well, that leaves it open to, there are multiple people having feelings, but that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen or that everybody agrees with it. It's just, you got to watch for that, especially when you're making these decisions that could be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of your retirement.
At the end of the day, it's your life. It's like you got to listen to. There's one person you have to listen to. Listen to yourself, and and that's so important when it comes to retirement planning. Because like people hear the word annuities, I'm not afraid to say it. I work with annuities. I've been doing it for 21 years.
Yeah,
and annuities have not variable annuities. I wouldn't offer that to an Ohio State fan. First of all, get that right out of there.
That's Michigan's Dolph Janis.
Yes, that is true. They're my kryptonite, but not lately. At least the last 4 years. But anyhow, annuities are designed for stability. They're designed for protection. They're not designed to get you rich. They're designed to protect you against the unknown. Nothing else out there can say, hey, the market can go down 50% and you're not going to get charged any fee and you can't lose any money in your account. That's 100% what an annuity is. An annuity can say, hey, I'm going to give you an income rider on your annuity. I'm going to pop you with a 30% increase on your income value. Let your account grow at 8.5% guaranteed for 10 years. So your account started at $200,000, and I can guarantee you, and that's what I love about the annuity world, they can guarantee you your income base is going to be $478,000, and you're going to get $29,000 a year for the rest of your life. So you can start with $200,000, and in 10 years, almost $30,000 a year guaranteed for life. Who else can out there? And they say, oh, so annuities that have a surrender charge. Well, guess what, Doug? You put $200,000 in an annuity, and in 5 years from now, your surrender charge is 6%. You got a 6% charge if you wanted to walk away in year 5. They're telling you up front what your penalty is going to be.
Yeah.
If you put $200,000 in the stock market or a mutual fund and say, I'm going to walk away in 5 years, what's your value going to be? You have no idea, because you have no idea what the economy is going to do between now and then.
And there's still a fee for the brokerage that manages it, a lot of times, right?
Yeah. Sometimes those brokers who should be telling you as a fiduciary what's best interest for you, but they don't 100% of the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones out there, but unfortunately, think of the Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, this guy's selling Cracker Jack boxes to guys for nickels on the penny and making a fortune for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a shame. It's just a shame.
Now that he's done his time, or whatever the punishment was for that, is still out there as a pundit and speaker, by the way. So you just got to appreciate the hustle, I guess, but it's a cautionary sign. And so, Dolph, this is the 17th episode of Guard Your Savings, if my count is correct here. That means people that have listened, even just a little bit, get the sense you're a straight shooter. If they want to set up this conversation to get that straight shot, even if it's maybe the information you don't want to hear at first.
Truth hurts sometimes.
But also find out, about how annuities can help people and some of the other strategies you use to get this, as you call it, clear income. How do they set up that conversation?
Well, we are available all the time. I mean, you can go text us. We have our texting number. You can email us. You can call us. Whatever's best for you. My calendar or Calendly link / Dolph Janis. My publisher put my whole calendar out there and said, you pick a time that's best for you. I'm not going to tell you what my availability is. It's showing you right on the screen. You pick it up. You can schedule a meeting in person. You can schedule it via Zoom. You can schedule just a 20-minute, hey, let's just talk. And when we talk, meet, or Zoom, whatever it is, you tell me what you want, because at the end of the day, my phrase is, how can I service you today? Yeah, how can I help you today? I'm not here. If we're not a fit, we're not a fit. We do become a fit, and you become part of our family. Going forward, it's fantastic. We work accordingly, but every situation is different. I'm open to all different kind of questions. I mean, we did a show a couple weeks ago, and I said, hey, go to info@cisforlife.com. Dolph, can you do a show about the important ages in life. Well, we just did that show last week. That was a recommendation from a client saying, I wanted to hear, in your opinion, what are the most important 4 days and birthdays in your life? And then we did that. So go to their info@cisforlife.com. Tell me what you want me to do a show on. As long as it's legal, I will do it.
Hey, I like that. info@cisforlife.com. Send us those show ideas. And if you want to have that conversation with Dolph to talk about your retirement, again, from a straight shooter, go to 704-919-0149 for Clear Income Strategies Group. You can go to clearincomeforlife.com, hit the contact button, and many myriad of ways to get in touch right there. Dolph, thanks so much for sharing your sage wisdom for 21 years plus being in this business here. And of course, as we like to say in most episodes, you've lived in 34 cities in 13 states. You've seen a lot of different ways of life, and you've seen many, many iterations of people's retirements, and not one of them, as you've told me before, has been the same. So people need to hear about this for what you've learned from all of that.
100%. It was like, what's important to you and how do you want to live your last bunch of years on this world and where do you want to enjoy it? And we'll find a way to make it happen for you. Thanks for listening and God bless.
Absolutely. God bless you, Dolph. And thank you everybody again for listening, for me as well. Thanks to our producer, Alfred Romero, for getting this all put together and published.
Alfred the man.
Alfred is the man for sure, man. He is hustling over there. He's hustling. He's a
good pickleball player too. Is that true?
I've only seen him play one time, so we need to get Alfred out on the pickleball court more there. He did, his birthday has just come and gone here, and somebody gave him a gavel that when you hit it on his desk, it makes the Law and Order doo-doo sound, which I think is pretty cool. He's
nice.
a Law and Order judge.
I didn't get one of those for my birthday a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, we need to fix you up, man. Next time I'm in Charlotte, we got to get you something good. So
copy that.
Yes, but this has been the Guard Your Savings podcast, and he is Dolph Janis, founder, insurance professional, and income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group. I'm Doug Turnbull. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon here on the Guard Your Savings podcast.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Randall Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.